there have been as many different systems of teaching as there are golfers and golf pros in the world. If you went to work for a pro, you had to teach what the man told you to teach, or else you were fired. So they were able to teach these different ways according to the pros' whims since its inception. But in the last 25 years, there's been a definite change. It's going to more science. They were dealing first with physics, then they went into the geometry of the swing, and then they incorporated kinesiology. Kinesiology is a scientific analyzation of muscular motion. And with this, we're able to control the joints of the skeletal system, the muscles that cause the joints to move, and the nerve that stimulate the muscles for the operation of the golf swing. This science is so precise, and it isn't something that we're guessing out. We can take an electromyograph and attach it to the various muscles and tell what muscle stimulates to cause the actions in the joints you want, and how long it stays in stimulation before it's relaxed. And with this knowledge that we have, it's so precise, and with the machine, the electromyograph machine, to verify that which we are talking about, Mike Dunaway and I will be telling exactly how the golf swing is constructed. He will demonstrate, I will explain. I'm going to turn the mic over now to Mr. Dunaway.
Thank you, buddy. Well, that was a nice introduction, and I appreciate the kind words. And what success I've been able to accomplish in the golf business is directly due to the gentleman sitting right next beside me. In my opinion, Michael Austin is at least 20 years ahead of anything that's ever been done in any kind of teaching in golf. Michael, not only does he have one of the finest golf swings in the world, one of his tremendous achievements is he holds the Guinness Book of World Record for the longest drive ever hit, 515 yards in Las Vegas, but he has a tremendous working knowledge and one of the most beautiful golf swings in the whole world. He has degrees in kinesiology, physics, engineering, 2 years of medicine, and with what he mentioned a while ago, it is absolutely the most incredible study that I personally have ever been involved with in golf. Not only is the motion effective, but it is the most efficient way in the entire world to swing a golf club. You can get more out of less with what we're fixing to explain to you over the next probably several hours, but I'm really honored to be a part, for him to choose me to be a part of this presentation, because I really believe that it could be a turning point in the golf instruction world. You know, you look at golf and we've got, in the United States, close to 25 million people that play, and I'd have to say that 95% of them slice a ball. I'd have to say that only, 5% of them can break 90. And so you have to take a look at what's really taught, from the initial point. And there's 2 or 3 major points that will be discussed in this video that I think that will totally change the initial move and the overall pattern of what's really done in the golf swing. And like I say, I'm very honored to be a part of this presentation. I'm going to be doing a lot of the demonstration, and Mike was going to be commenting, but we're going to use more or less kind of a laid-back question and answer thing that we used in my teaching. And the one thing that I can do that Michael can't do, he can't represent a student's view. So I have several hundred questions which I will be asking him, and through the process he's going to be pushing me, turning me, prodding me, and we're going to get to the bottom of the exact movements of a golf swing. What this will do in the golf world, where all golf instruction gets a little bit crazy, is kind of fact versus feel. Well, this video is going to go beyond feel. This is going to make, we're going to be accountable for every single movement that we do in the golf swing, and it will be based on irrefutable, unarguable facts. There won't be anybody talking about physics or physiology or leverage or according to physics without really understanding exactly what those words mean. Some of the terminologies that you'll hear will be a little bit new, but they're absolutely accurate, right on line, and this videotape will give you years and years. I have over the years, I probably have 16, 17 hours of tape of Michael and myself, and I go back over it. I learn something every single day. Even today, we're working before we get ready to. I'm incorporating something a little bit, just a little bit of a new thing. It's just tremendous. You know, I just feel like this teaching method gives you the advantage that you will need. There's no way not to become a better golfer and have an understanding. It's different. A lot of people take golf lessons to learn. I never realized when I was learning from Mike that I would end up being what I feel like is I have a lifelong livelihood in teaching. It's just a superior way to look at motion, and Michael Austin is, well, I'll, at the risk of repeating myself, is by far the most qualified golf instructor that the world has ever seen. You know, in my brief career, I've had the opportunity to literally go all over the world, and I think probably the most impressive thing that I personally have ever seen is, of course, my dear friendship with Michael here and our association of teaching things. But this year Michael's 84, but from the time he was 76 till the time he was 80 years old, I had the privilege of playing probably 50 rounds of golf with him. And during that time, we also went to 12 different cities around the world, 4 or 5 places here in the United States and in Japan during various long drive contests. Now think about this. Between the time he was 76 and the time he was 80, over a period of time, over 12 competitions, he averaged 308 yards in a competitive situation. And during that time when I had the opportunity to play with Michael, I can honestly say I only saw him probably in 50 rounds of golf literally hit 1 or 2 what I would call bad shots. He had the most efficient, most powerful looking, easy, fluid, supple technique that I've ever seen in my life, that I've literally dedicated myself to trying to swing exactly like him. And some of the things that are just that he has such a tremendous advantage on over the rest of the golfing business is his knowledge. And some of the questions that I would like to ask Mike today is, Mike, you know, in the analyzation of motion, why is a background of not only necessarily like learning about motion itself, the human body, but how important is it to combine all those, like specifically kinesiology?
Well, kinesiology deals with basically the locomotion of the human body. If you walk, if you run, if you chin, if you shot put, if you throw a baseball, you kick a football, that all are analyzed through kinesiology. We know exactly the first point of stimulation, how long it was in stimulation, then how the secondary motion came in until you complete the action. Well, in studying this, and you can put it on film, and you can see it shot back, and then having in mind the stimulation and the degree the joints bend according to the muscular, stimulation, you can see how you attain balance. Balance you get through the feet. Motion you get out of the 12 joints, dealing with the ankles, the knees, the hips, the shoulders, elbow, and wrist. If you cut off the legs and cut off the arms, you're like a wiener down there. You can't move. You might live a month because you couldn't feed yourself, you couldn't drink water. I think 3 weeks is as long as anybody can go without water. I think there's been someone about that time, but you can go a month and a half without food. But just think, everybody thinks the body is making all this motion. The action of your feet, the ankles, knees, and hips control the action of your torso. Now the shoulders are basically the top of your torso, your hips are bottom. Now on top of that you have a head. That's the thinking division of this human body. Now we decide what we want to do with what motion, whether you're going to run, you're going to jump, you're going to do a form of athletics, swim, basketball, football, baseball. It all deals with these appendages. And not too many people has put the emphasis on the legs and the hands and the arms to create balance and timing. Timing is one of the most important parts of a golf swing. Your body can only move so fast, and the average person in the pro ranks take 2 seconds to make a golf swing if they use a 2 count, a 1, 2, and it's all taking about 1 second each. The backswing from the ball to the top of the backswing, the club head is traveling 240 degrees. The left arm will separate from the ball 150, and you cock your hands 90 degrees, and you have 240 degrees. Well, if it's 240 degrees to the top of the backswing, it's 240 degrees back to the ball, then it's 240 degrees on the other side. So you are taking the club back 240 degrees, and to complete the circle, you're doing 480. Now, the time it takes from the ball to the top of the backswing is 1 second. That's about as fast as the body should move. And the time from the top of the backswing to the finish is 1 second. Therefore, the body's moving twice as fast, and along with the arms and the hands.
Mm-hmm.
You see, we control the blade with the hands. We set it on plane. When you're standing to direct the ball, only thing is on plane is the club face. But when you go back, you have to put the shaft on plane, and you do it with the hands. But while you're doing that, to allow the body to turn the full degree, the knees and ankles, hips and shoulders, elbows and wrists, they've got to coordinate all of this into a single pattern.
Yeah, it's